So AI and algorithmic systems are increasingly being used as part of decision-making processes. Now, while these bring immense opportunities, if not managed well, they can also have potentially significant consequences for us as individuals. Now, to avoid these negative consequences, we first need to address the fact that most algorithmic systems are still being created by relatively homogeneous groups of developers. This lack of diversity can be responsible for system failures that can have very scary consequences for millions of people. Scary, for example, for groups that are still underrepresented in the tech industry, such as women. Mind you, half of the population, of course. Now, if we really want a fully inclusive and equal digital world, we need to make sure that diversity actually exists in the development of new technologies. To overcome biases, the first step is to include in the process people who can actually spot these biases. So we need women, but we also need people from ethnic minorities, of course, people with disabilities, and people from all generations, young and old. In parallel, we also need to involve people with a humanities background, philosophers, historians, sociologists. These are all professions that have a bright future in the creation of an inclusive digital world, because these are the ones that can give algorithms the so-called human pulse that we so badly need. Secondly, we cannot keep our eyes closed to the fact that governments and companies, left and right, are defining algorithmic protocols as we speak. The digital economy has a very high degree of cross-border operations and has a global reach. Digital platforms and products are used and produced all over the world. And because of this, we cannot pretend that other players simply don't exist, because they do. In fact, it is next to impossible to nationalize the digital world. Therefore, to successfully govern new technologies, we need global collaboration and a global dialogue. We are not anymore in a world where one superpower defines the rules and then the rest of humanity follows suit. We are in a world where power is much more evenly distributed than ever before. And because of that, we need to speak with everyone. We need to set up frameworks for dialogue with all relevant players out there, East and West, and lead this dialogue into the consolidation of global standards. Proactive diplomacy is needed more than ever. The more we wait, the lower possibilities we have of influencing the process. We as Europeans are in a unique position to overcome the geopolitical competition by building the much needed bridges that can bring all sides around the same table. Now we need to use this power, yes, our soft power, to do so. We have a once in a life opportunity to chair a global dialogue that ensures that humanity as a whole can benefit from the same rights across the world.